All right. We're going to give it another
Surprise!
try. Yep.
We're back
Should be good this
53
time.
seconds early.
Should be good.
Yeah. All right. Well, we just had to get a little bit of reset so that we weren't suffering from that little bit of lag that you guys might have experienced. So hopefully we'll be good jumping into this next match shortly as soon as the players are ready. We had Cripps' expectations for this matchup, considering he always casts Tempo Mage when it loses.
I do believe Jab has the slight advantage, but I have no faith in Tempo Mage in tournaments. So I'm gonna give Jab the no faith seal, meaning Lead Paint will win.
Well, if we look at their decks, head to head, it's basically just Druid Mirror, Secret Paladin Mirror, and then those two decks that differ for both of them. And it's a tough matchup. I think a lot of times Tempo Mage does win against Aggro Shaman, but that's if those two decks line up. So they're not going to line up in this first match. Lead Paint is going to switch it up. He didn't throw out the Secret Paladin. He's going to throw out the Aggro Shaman first. Wow, bold move.
Well, there's a lot of ramp in this hand, but it's kind of one of those hands where it's just like too good. It's all ramp.
Too much of a good thing can sometimes be a bad thing.
Yeah. I mean, this type of hand works really well if you draw heavy cards immediately. Will that happen? Kind of.
Yeah.
Well, actually, playing Lotheb off the Innervate and still losing really sucks, by the way. That's terrible.
Yeah. Especially since Lead Paint, this is what you sort of want in the opening hand for Aggro Shaman, is just minions. You want minions first. And
well, you might have to trade here because you might have to play around Swipe. Because Swipe would just be so soul-crushing here.
Yeah, but I don't think you can, I don't know. You can't expect him to have Swipe in the first 5 cards, especially since he threw away a lot. But I think with Aggro Shaman, you have to take risks sometimes and just hope they don't have it. And this is the only time in the game where you'll like, this is the best time in the game to take that.
I'm surprised he hasn't acted yet. It does seem like a pretty hero power Wrath for 1 on the 2/1, and just Wild Growth into an Emperor next turn. Kill the 3/4 for free. Looks good.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he hasn't acted yet. It does seem like a pretty clear-cut play.
We might have lost.
What is the alternative here?
Hero power in Wrath, but yeah, we saw his cam DC there for a second. So looks like we lost the jab, and we'll see if we can get him back in here in just a moment. But I think that for disconnect, the ruling is unless it's just an auto loss for a disconnect, unless the other player would want to concede the game over, but I don't think that would ever happen in a competitive environment.
It does happen every now and then, but
yeah,
shouldn't count on that.
Yeah, some tournaments have rules where if there's guaranteed lethal on board, or if there's lethal on board. But I'm pretty sure, if I remember in the past from ONOG rules, that a disconnect means that it is a loss for that game over to the disconnected player. And we just got the your opponent left screen from Lead Paint, it seems. So that would be a disconnect from a full disconnect from Jab.
Seemed like it. We'll have to see. Well, that's kind of too bad. I think the Druid could have had a chance there. It wasn't looking great, but he could have had a chance.
Yeah. So ruling is if it is not a clear and present lethal, which usually means just minions attacking face on board, then it is a loss for a disconnect unless the opponent agrees to otherwise. So looks like since that was definitely not anywhere near a clear and present lethal, Jab will be receiving a loss for that match.
Okay. Well, I guess we have to take a moment to see if Jab is going to return here, but looks like he has. We have received the jab back.
Yeah.
Yeah, and moving forward, that is going to be a win for the Shaman of Lead Paint. So it looks like that mage is going to have to create a bonus win.
A bonus win. You never want to rely on the old Tempo Mage bonus win.
No.
But
No, you don't.
sometimes Tempo Mage can just steal wins. Sometimes Tempo Mage can just steal games. Like an unstable portal. If you can get like a turn 5, like Ragnaros, or a turn 4 Doctor Boom, or a turn 5 Tyrion 4
It doesn't have to
Drink.
be that ridiculous, It could just be like a solid 6 drop off a turn 2 portal. Like turn
Could
1
be
Mana Worm, turn 2 portal. You get just the better half of 6 drops. You're in good shape. You can get like a Toshli. You can get like a Fire Elemental.
You get like
You
a
get a
Bolt
Boulder
Ram
Fist
Shield.
No, not that one.
Why does everybody hate on a Bolt Ram Shield?
Well.
It's not a great legendary like to put in a deck, but if you get it from a card, a 3/9 is really good.
Yeah. The problem with both is you kind of want to play him when you're almost dead, but if you're almost dead, you're usually losing on the board, and then you just
Yeah.
kind of die.
Well,
He's just kind of horrible.
I like the idea of him, but the thing is, you're basically killing both for free
Yeah.
all the time. All the time, every time. You kill both for free.
Both only has one purpose, really. I know we're a bit off topic, but I thought let's just cover the bases. Okay.
Yeah.
The reason Bolf is in the game is so right after you played your Sneed's Old Shredder and you're going to win the game off of value, but you have no HP left, there's that small chance you can get both and still win the game.
Yeah. There was also a match that happened in the Korea Winter Preliminary. So the tournament to qualify for the Winter Championships for Asia Pacific, where a player named Dione, who actually ended up winning the whole thing and winning the Asia Pacific Championship, got a Bolf Ram Shield off a top deck after he had played Golden Monkey against a Druid. And it saved his life. Yeah.
Okay.
That
Not
happened.
bad.
That happened. It was
Stuff
very
can happen.
impressive. Yeah. So
There's definitely a few amazing moments that we experience in tournaments, and it does seem often a bit surreal when compared to just routine ladder play.
yeah, that's Golden Monkey just adds so much cool things to tournaments. I was actually really happy that so many people brought Control Warrior to all of the Winter Championships because we got to see a lot of interesting Golden Monkey play. And we are going to move into game number 2 here. It is going to be Lead Paint on his Secret Paladin and Jab on his Secret Paladin, the good old Secret Paladin mirror match.
If I'm not mistaken, I think one player is playing a slightly slower version. I kind of forget which one. So
Lead
I'm
Paint
curious.
has Rag.
Mm-hmm. I think Lead Paint might only have one Secret Keeper. Is kind of what I'm getting at.
Okay, he does have Repentance. Repentance is sometimes cut, but Jab also has Repentance, so... Ooh! Mashir's Challenger, and he's on the coin.
Yeah, that could be a pretty big deal, but he's also going to have to be winning at that stage.
Yeah.
And it looks like Jab has the better early game hand, but it's pretty close.
Yeah, Shield Mini Bot and Knife Juggler are a lot better than Competitive Spirit and Haunted Creeper.
Well, he can coin out a keeper, but that feels kind of bad. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Ugh. The non-attack. Oh, the Ragnaros on the other side of the board as well. Looks like both players might be playing exact replicas of the Secret Paladin.
Yeah, exactly the same list, which is not... I guess there are a lot of cards that are flexible slots in Secret Paladin. Some people opt to not go with Secret Keepers. Some people opt to not go with Repentance. Some people put more secrets than others. Some people go with Rag. The 4 slot is different. Some 1 Blessing Kings, 2 Blessing Kings, 1 Truce Over Champion, no Truce Over Champions, 1 Consecrate, no Consecrate. So it is kind of rare to have exact same lists, but these seem similar.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
So this can only be Repentance. So he's got to burn the Keeper before he burns the Mysterious Challenger.
Yep.
And that sucks. A lot.
Especially since Lead Paint's not going to be able to get the Repentance down. So it's not going to get pulled from Mysterious Challenger. You know, it's not going to be able to sort of have an answer to the Mysterious Challenger of Jab. So unless Jab completely whiffs on this turn 5 play, even if he does actually, I don't even know if there's going to be a way.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't.
Having this Repentance hand is so bad.
Who am I? None of your business.
He's missing Competitive Spirit and Repentance. Very unfortunate.
Oh man, look at that curve.
The dream.
Dr. 6, Dr. 7, and not the real Dr. 8, but
I think that might be the better Doctor 8 because at that stage in the game you're just slaying. Tyrion's more of a defensive tool.
Yeah, this is the specialist Dr. 8. This is the Dr. 8 that the other Dr. 8 referred you to for a problem that he couldn't even deal with.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, you can play Dr. Juggler. Pulls out 2 secrets from your hand.
Dr. 2.
Yep. Well, Dr. 4 because the secrets wouldn't be free.
Yeah.
So basically sucks, but it looks like the best play anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Reporting for duty.
Nope.
Doesn't hit that juggle. Can't even get this 9 damage in with the Mysterious Challenger that he has on board either. Not looking good. Competitive Spirit. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that is a ton of damage.
I mean, that's just 18 damage on the board with
No, it's
Coghammer.
lethal. Coghammer's done, right?
As long as it's not Noble Sacrifice. I don't think Lead Paint's played 2 Noble Sacrifices, has he?
No, it's not Noble Sacrifice right now. It's a Avenge and Repentance.
Yeah, but does Jab know that? Because he played one of the secrets last turn. So he realizes that it's not, so he's going to go ahead and push in lethal. And despite the disconnect, Jab is going to tie it up for game number 2.
Yeah, not too bad. Lead Paint has had quite a lot of success off the Secret Paladin list. Looks like Jab might be having the same similar style of success. Often when I've seen ladder play though, you don't typically see oh, how you doing? You don't typically see this this list. I feel most of the players playing ladder play the full Xmas tree version, like even ×2 sometimes.
Yeah. ×2 Repentance. It's a bold choice. Yeah, I think a lot of players have refined it down to like 1/ofs of Repentance, Competitive Spirit, and Redemption. Just because those are the 3 secrets that aren't as good. And yeah.
This is a
no
nice
eye
hand.
for an eye.
Creeper into Shredder.
Yeah, maybe he wants. Yeah, I don't think he can. Oh, Mysterious Challenger might change that because you can coin it out, but I don't. Unless you pick up a 3-drop, I think you have to coin out the Shredder.
Yeah.
And it's not like he won't have a turn 5 play because he can have Truce Over Champion, which even though you're floating a mana, is still a decent turn 5 play.
Well, it might play next turn. We'll have a look here.
Have a little look-see.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Innervate. He can Innervate out of Wrath and take out this pile to Shredder. The only thing is that ruins his next turn.
There's no doubt he's going to do that.
Look, he's mousing over the Shade, and if he Innervates now, he doesn't have a minion to play for next turn, but that's a hard play to pass up because that's a really clean removal.
Wow, he does do it. He commits
Yeah.
to Ancient of War next turn.
All right. Well, now Lead Paint's got a decent. Well, I don't know. He might even not want to play Avenge next turn. I was gonna say you can choose over Avenge, but if you play Avenge, that means if it doesn't get procced, your Mysterious Challenger isn't going to pull a Revenge out of your deck.
Mm-hmm.
Which means you don't get the free card, and also that's one more card in your deck that's going to be like a poor draw. So maybe he doesn't even want to play that. But
Isn't it funny how this is considered like a pretty good play to like intervene out an Ancient of Lore, but in reality it's just like 5 mana 5/5 draw card. Not that insane.
5 mana 5/5 draw a card would be insane. If that was a common, it'd be in every deck.
Well, it's not too far off from Azure Drake. Spell damage is pretty expensive.
I think the difference between a 5/5 and a 4/4 is actually pretty huge, though.
Yeah, but sometimes this difference in spell damage or not spell damage is really huge.
Yeah, that's true.
Alright. Wrathing for 1. Oh.
Ooh, if that gets buffed.
I don't think that
actually,
can
no,
get
it's-
buffed.
If the Death Rattle plays first, I think he can get buffed.
Mm.
But this is not a good spot to go into for the next turn. Actually, if the Nordtron got... No, I don't know. If it did get buffed, then he could just Hero Power and swipe for full clear, but... Now Jab's in some trouble.
It's the full tree! We did it! This is what I see constantly on ladder.
Oh, I thought you were
Full
going to say, like,
package.
this is what I live for. The full package.
Well,
Well-
the BGH is what makes it interesting.
But he
Oh,
can't
boy.
guarantee that it goes on to the Mysterious Challenger.
He can do a 50-50 by wrathing it. This is a 1
Yeah.
in 3. If he gets it though, it's huge.
Oh, actually,
It's on that one.
BGH this, too.
Doesn't feel as good though.
No, it doesn't. It still feels good just to BGH anything, but you're right, it doesn't feel as good.
Time waits for no one.
And then you still got to worry about competitive spirit, redemption, or sorry, repentance.
I think
So-
he might not BGH it. I think it's good to swipe and wrath.
I've got the beast in us.
I think he might be running out of time there.
Competitive
That's
spirit
good.
would land on the Mysterious Challenger anyway. You could have swiped and wrath to 7/5.
Yeah. And BGH next turn, but you're going to take a lot of damage if you do that. Ooh.
Oh, you take the 7 hit anyway. I mean, take the same damage.
But you wouldn't clear off... Oh, no. Yeah, you're right. I thought there would be one extra minion on board if you did it that way. But it still would have killed off one minion. And, I mean, this looks like it's going to seal up the game, because I don't know how Jab's going to come back from this stage.
Yeah,
He's got
there's
a lot
so
of spells
much
in his
junk
hand.
there, and Ragnaros is coming next.
Yeah, like he can Wrath, and he can start cleaning things up with Living Roots, but that's pretty much his whole turn, just removing stuff, and then he has no answer to Rag.
I'm not sure if Leadpaint will play Rag. I think if he gets a decent 2 or 3 or 4, he's going to play the Kings. I think Kings is
Lots
better
of-
here.
Yeah, it is, yeah. If he had whiffed on that draw, maybe. But this does allow him to push through and keep a more resilient board. And now Jab, once again, in a rough spot. 8, 9,
Oh.
10, 11 damage represented on board.
Yeah, he's not dead to the board. So I think this is just the time where you just play a bunch of things. Oh, the hero power. I think that actually makes it a lot worse.
Oh, well, that's going to do it. He put it on, like, Muster for
It's
Battle
gonna
being
do it.
lethal, I guess.
Yeah.
Because if he had just played Living
Even, I
Roots...
mean, even if he didn't get Coghammer there, he could have done 50-50, Rag kills Dr. Boom or kills the opponent.
Yeah, by trading in.
And unless the boombots were magical, I don't think there was any way to come back there, even from just the rag.
Which many times they are magical, but unfortunately, Jab not even able to get to see if they were. But that's Lead Paint taking a 2-1 lead with just Druid remaining.
Well, Druid's not great against Mage, and Druid is roughly 50% against Druid. So, yeah, it's not terrible for Jab. You can win this.
This is a rematch. And in the first round, Lead Paint went up 2-1 and then lost the series. If I remember correctly. Yeah, that's what happened. Oh no, wait, did Lead Paint win? I'm lost. I'm confused. I just confused myself.
Job's done.
Jab did go down.
Neither of these guys have ramp. This is gonna take a while to get going here.
Well, living room start for one player is decent. It just allows for chip damage early on, and also it forces your opponent to deal with it. And fitting in hero powers early is tough, but Lead Paint's just gonna try and find that little bit of additional ramp to give himself an advantage.
Well, when you draw 2 swipes in the same turn, and that turn is 2, not so great.
Yeah, I was right. Jab did win. He was down 2-1 in the series versus Lead Paint, and came back to win 3-2 in the second match of the day. So in round number 1. So with these decks that he has, it is doable. That's a good pickup from Lead Paint. Otherwise, he would have been just hero powering.
Sylvanas has been not that common in the Druid lists, but I think overall it's worked out quite well. It's one of those cards that you kind of don't want to kill to deal with it, and that helps Druid a lot by pushing for 7 extra on top of the 14 combo.
Yeah, I really like it. It's a little bit slower, but it's got much more impact. And since Lead Paint just seems to be running a slower list in general, maybe only one combo. Because double Ancient of War plus a Sylvanas.
And he hasn't cut the BGH? No.
Yeah. Yikes! That's a Totem Golem. But that's a swipe.
Yeah. And boy, I guess is he glad that he had the second one now.
Yeah. And he's got Sylvanas into double Ancient of War, so those are all tough cards for Druids to deal with. They basically have to have, he'll have to have 2 Keeper of the Groves in the next couple turns in order to deal with both of those.
Alright, well, I'm not even sure Druid of the Claw is great here. I think I would have considered just charging into it.
And get rid of it right away.
Yeah, it's just really annoying.
Yeah, now it's awkward because he can't clear everything. He can trade in, but it looks like he's just gonna probably go face and ignore it for now. It's risky, but what are you gonna do? Innervate out a hero power to take out the shade? Yeah. Just pushing the damage. And now the shade's gonna be 6/6. He can guarantee the steal on the shade and then plop down an Ancient of War.
Yeah, that's pretty insane.
Might be looking at the beginning of the end here for Jab.
Yeah, there are not enough silences in the deck to deal with this board.
Lippy doesn't even need combo. He's got 2 Growing Shades. Even just next turn, that's going to be 17 damage coming at his face, just from what's on the board. And he can't even innervate out anything in order to take out even just one of these. And these guys next turn are going to get out of range of anything except for a big game hunter.
It's going to MC Tech an Ancient of War. The new high of MC Tech.
I don't even think that would be enough, because Lead Paint is just playing it safe and trading. Jab concedes. That means Lead Paint is the second player to move on to the playoff stage, joining Dog for Sunday.
Well, it looks like that disconnect at the start was potentially a pretty big factor. It kind of sucks for that to happen. If that didn't happen, he would have had a little bit more play, and maybe he would have got a bit lucky with his Druid. But In the end, Lead Paint takes the rematch and takes the second seed from today's Group A matches.
Yeah, and so it was a fun day. We got to see Dog play some interesting decks. We got to see Lead Paint play some pretty standard decks. But both players, I always like to see one infight and one of the open players move through, just so we have a good mix in the playoff stage. So I'm glad that these two players made it through. They are both really strong players, and you can see that their preparation that they put into the deck lineups that they brought worked out well. Unfortunately, like you said, that disconnect from Jab might have played a part in that, but at the end of the day, there's nothing you can do about that, and I do think Lead Paint still deserves definitely to move through.
Mm-hmm. Overall, pretty good matches today. I think the highlight were Dog's decks and the way he played out his games. Even the games he lost, I think he did exceptionally well to try to maneuver around possible pitfalls. But in the end, sometimes it gets too many. But still, he does get the first seed of the day. He was the player to go undefeated today, along with Lead Paint will advance to the final day on Sunday. I am curious, though. I don't know if you know this, but do you know if the players will be stuck with these decks on Sunday?
Yes, they will. I believe they'll have the same decks, but they will have one extra deck.
Mm-hmm.
Since the Sunday matches are best of sevens, they will have that extra deck. I will call it a secret deck, which is their last deck, since they do have to add one deck. It's not best of seven in a normal sense, where you would just play the fourth deck that you brought. There is still a ban, so they have to have 5 decks. So it adds a little extra dynamic. So even though they're bringing the same decks, their deck lineup, the dynamic of their deck lineup could change going into Sunday because of that extra deck.
Should be interesting.
Yeah. All right. Well, make sure you guys, we got some upcoming events for One Nation of Gamers. Of course, we'll be broadcasting Feature Tournament number 2 throughout this weekend. We'll return tomorrow and Sunday. I believe that will happen an hour later than it did today. So today we started at 6 p.m. EDT, so the next couple days I believe it'll be at 7 p.m. EDT. Oh, sorry, an hour earlier.
Yeah,
that's a big difference.
Yep.
An hour at One Nation of Gamers will be releasing shortly. That'll let you guys keep track of some of your pros and where they'll be for signings. So I also want to give a shout out to Twitch channel here. If you are able to make it, check out the gaming booth over at PAX East. And you guys will get to meet some of the team members from Archon, from Team Liquid, and from Cloud9. So that's going to be some really cool stuff. Make sure you tune into that. And, of course, the next Open for One Nation of Gamers will be on April 30th. Crip, are you going to PAX?
Don't think so, but we'll see.
Don't think so, but we'll see. Well, unfortunately, we weren't able to get the Crip Watch mobile app, but there will be a mobile app that'll let you guys, that One Nation of Gamers will be releasing shortly. That'll let you guys keep track of some of your pros and where they'll be for signings. So I also want to give a shout out to the sponsor of the event, Geico, of course, who's the title sponsor. Video Game Voters Network, who are encouraging all gamers to get out there and vote. So head over to videogamevoters.com for more information on that. And, of course, CyberPower PC. So if you guys want to enter in to win a CyberPower PC, head over to geico.onog.gg for more information about that and to enter in to win. But that's going to be it, Crip. Crip, do you have any final words on the day today?
It's been good.
Final thoughts?
I hope the next few days will be at least as entertaining. And we'll have to see shortly what that'll be like.
All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in to Group A of Feature. We'll return tomorrow again 1 hour earlier than today. So make sure you tune in for the continuation of Feature Tournament number 2. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.